My name is Michael Vawter, and I participated in Invention in 2004. I was in 7th grade. My invention was the robo-switch, a robotic wall switch that turned the lights off whenever I left my bedroom. My problem was that I kept getting in trouble every day for leaving the lights on in my bedroom. So all I had to do was look around and notice something in my own life that was a huge problem, and it was just that I kept getting in trouble, and I had to continually run upstairs to my bedroom and turn the lights back off. Then I turned to my Lego robotics kit and started building with that, and started coming up with an invention. And it was really just a sincere way to solve a problem that I had so that I could stop getting in trouble. I turned to Lego robotics to solve my problem because it was something that I already had a little bit of experience with, and I already had a passion for building with Legos. I'd been building with Legos since I could walk, so for me that was just sort of an easy thing to turn to help me solve the problem. So in terms of giving advice to future inventors, it's just go with what you know and go with what materials you can work with. You know, if you're skilled with a certain thing, then use that to solve your problem. I already knew Lego robotics, so it was perfect for me. I had a really cool journal when I was working on the robo-switch, and it was super important to me. It wasn't just something that I had to do to kind of meet the requirements for the project. I actually used the journal, and I actually kept a document in Microsoft Word, and I kept images of different stages of the project. When I had a certain version of the robo-switch, I would take a picture of it and I would document things that were good about it, things that were bad about it, and I would document conversations I had with people trying to get input, and I documented everything. And it was super helpful because then as I was going through the stages of invention, I could look back on what I had done before and not make the same mistakes twice. So that's a piece of advice I would give, is definitely keep a super detailed journal. Well, Invention showed me that I could succeed just as a problem solver, and I think that was very important because problem solving plays a role in every career and every possible thing you can do. And so throughout my college career, it was helpful to just be somebody who knew how to sit down with the problem and kind of, you know, just sit with it and keep thinking about it and know that you can solve it. And a lot of people don't do that. And that's honestly something that I did learn from Invention. So I did go to college. I went to Edison University in Granville, Ohio, and I was very lucky to have scholarship money from Invention and from other competitions that I had been a part of. And at Denison, I got to do a lot of awesome things. I was a part of a lot of research. I was involved in the neuroscience program there and also the organizational psychology program, and I did a Bachelor of Science, which meant that I just learned lots of science stuff, lots of statistics, and I did some research in vision science, and I actually was a co-author on a manuscript that was published in the Journal of Vision, which was really cool for somebody my age to be published in an actual scientific journal. I got to go to the Vision Science Society conference in Florida with one of my professors and actually present the research to thousands of actual scientists, which was really cool. And one of my favorite stories from that experience was one time I was at our poster, and it was kind of just like Invention Convention. I was at my poster, you know, explaining stuff, except that it was very different because it wasn't I guess it was an invention in a certain sense, but it was vision science, and I was explaining it, and I had just finished talking to this older gentleman about the whole project and how we did the science and everything, and then when he walked away, my professor leaned close to me and he said, "That's the guy who wrote the textbook we used last semester." Well, I have worked for a while in advertising, which was really cool. I had a position at a digital marketing firm where I was basically doing research, so kind of what I had been prepared to do with my college studies. And I was doing research on advertising analytics, different ways to look at how websites perform. So the first LEGO League is a competition where I think there's over 20,000 teams now from 40 different countries. I think it's like 60 countries now that compete to build LEGO robots to solve an obstacle course. And so it was partly, I've been building with LEGO robotics for a long time, and so I was a part of this competition for 4 years. And the last 2 years, my team won first place in the world out of all those 10, at the time it was 10,000 teams in the world. And it was a super cool experience. And after the World Championship, which there were teams from Japan and Germany and all over the place, it was really cool. But after the World Championship, the second year, I was too old to compete, and then I realized that I had all these skills in LEGO robotics, and I wanted to still do something with it. I didn't want it to just be where I learned all this stuff and then I wasn't gonna get to build anymore, I wasn't gonna get to compete anymore. So that's when I started the Robot Academy with the help of our coach and with the help of some friends and other team members. I started that Robot Academy as a way to get kids involved in science and technology. We're going to host a LEGO Robot Sumo battle. So kids yesterday were already working on programming and building and stuff, and today they're going to design robots to battle each other to the death. And secretly they're going to be learning a lot about science and technology. And then, after you've built them, after you've programmed them, after you've tested them a bunch of different times, you are going to have a battle. 4, 3, 2, 1, LEGO! One of the core ideas behind Robot Academy and why we do all this is to get kids excited about science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Because the skills that it takes to put a LEGO robot together, it's all those things. You have to be able to do the design of the robot and think of what would be best for a certain challenge. You have to be able to actually put the pieces together. You have to be able to do programming, and all that stuff prepares you for careers in science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So that's kind of the whole purpose behind it.
So are we, near and far we are.
One of the things that helped me the most when I was inventing an invention was that I was very good at being able to reach out for help to experts in the community. With my robotic wall switch, I remember one of the people I reached out to was somebody who worked at a power company and who knew a lot about the different types of wall switches that people were using. I reached out to a lot of different people like that and got a lot of insight, because it's important to realize that, obviously you guys are super smart and you can do anything, but one of the reasons why you can do anything is that you have a lot of people around you who are willing to help. And so it's important to utilize that resource and to think of all the people out there who might be able to provide a lot of useful advice and input for your invention, and then to take those people seriously. So that's one of the things that helped me the most, and I definitely would not have been successful without the help of my friends, my parents, and teachers and other people in the community that I was able to reach out to.